Hello YouTube, my name is Nero. Today we have some more Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered, and today was supposed to be the day, ladies and gentlemen, that they updated MWR and Black Ops 3 with a Halloween event, but I'm sure as you guys know, there was no update today, and Activision has confirmed via Twitter that there are going to be no events coming to those games, and that Infinite Warfare was going to be the only Call of Duty game to receive a Halloween update. What a terrible, yet somehow fitting way to end off Modern Warfare Remastered. Now, before we go any further, I would like to say that this video is going to be rather negative, but just know it's coming from a place of love for Call of Duty 4, a place of love for Modern Warfare Remastered, and a place of love for the Call of Duty franchise as a whole. But let's be entirely honest here, guys. MWR, from its very inception, was one giant failed experiment / cash grab by Activision. It all started when they decided to handcuff it to Infinite Warfare. They knew that Infinite Warfare was not going to be super popular, so they thought to themselves, let's go with the sure thing here. Let's try and make it so the people that want to play MWR have to also buy Infinite Warfare, which is such an evil way to do things, right? Because when they made this game, when they initially greenlit the idea of Modern Warfare Remastered, they had to have been thinking that they want to bring back the old player base, right? Because over the course of the past decade, this is entirely natural, but people left the series, right? Very rarely do you see people that are interested in one thing for an entire decade, right? So a lot of people, and I'm sure you guys know these people in your personal lives, I definitely do, my friends and family, and I know lots of people that used to play COD back in the day that don't play it anymore. That's what Activision was targeting. They wanted to try and bring back that audience this year, and so they kind of succeeded in that respect, but their first mistake, going back to it, was the fact that they handcuffed it to Infinite Warfare. Those people in my personal life that played Call of Duty 4 back in the day, they didn't get Modern Warfare Remastered this year because they did not want to spend $80 to play a game that is probably worth $20. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Modern Warfare Remastered, but do you guys think it's worth $80? I would say if they would have sold this game for $19.99 in November, alongside Infinite Warfare, everybody and their mother would own a copy of MWR, because $20 is a fantastic bargain for a remastered version of Call of Duty 4. It just really is. Their next mistake, of course, was the fact that they added supply drops to this game and then updated them to include guns. That was the turning point for a lot of players. A lot of people left Modern Warfare Remastered after that happened, and for good reason. I can see why they were sold this remastered version of COD 4. Now suddenly, it's not COD 4 because there are new weapons available within the game, and they lied about it to boot, so that's just even freaking worse. On top of that, we had more DLC, the Variety Map Pack, and that was one giant fiasco in and of itself. So the Variety Map Pack came out, and they sold it for $15, when the original Variety Map Pack for COD 4 cost $10, right? And now we're just getting like a remastered version of it. And here's the thing too, when we're talking about making rehashes of old maps and reselling them as DLC, it's one thing to actually reimagine them and make them something completely different, change up the layout a little bit, change up the landscape, and really make it different. And it's another thing to just remaster it and have it be the exact same map, the exact same layout, exact same everything, but with a higher resolution, essentially. It was not worth $15. That was another mistake they made with MWR. Let's talk about Raven Software here for a moment, because Raven Software has essentially been AFK this entire freaking year. I joked on Twitter last night, and a lot of people agreed and thought it was actually pretty funny, that it's been an honor serving you guys as Modern Warfare Remastered's community manager over these past 11 months. And while I was joking, I think I'm kind of being serious at the same time, because really though, has anybody else spent a lot of time talking about buffs and patches and updates and leaked content to you guys? Like the community managers, if you want to call them that, over at Raven Software, crickets coming from them the entire freaking year. Like, they don't communicate anything really whatsoever. Do you guys remember how buggy this game was when it first came out? Collaterals did not work whatsoever. The spawn system was completely broken. It had 10-tick servers, for crying out loud. We were constantly being shot around corners, and just the game itself was a big buggy mess. Raven Software didn't say anything about it, really, and we had to wait until February to actually get the updates. We are 11 months in right now, guys. We still do not have ping bars. The original COD 4, at the very least, had ping bars. Now, obviously, an actual ping number is ideal and much better than bars, but at the very least, could we get some freaking ping bars? We have games like this, which I recorded this a long time ago, but still, I mean, there's no ping bars even to this day. If I'm having a very laggy game, I can't see who the host is. I can't see what my connection is. Like, how how is this even possible? I have no idea how this game got past the beta stage without them adding freaking ping bars to it. But at the same time, I'm being a little bit harsh on Raven Software here because I feel as though a lot of these decisions come down from Activision. And honestly, I feel as though the people that made this game, Raven Software, the people in the studio, I think they really do care about it. I think they care about Modern Warfare Remastered. I think they care about the legacy of Call of Duty 4, but Activision forced them to make the game in a way they did not want to make it, right? By adding in supply drop content and stuff like that. Like, I don't think that Raven Software wanted to do that. I think some people maybe did inside the studio, but I think the majority of them just wanted to make a remastered version of Call of Duty 4 because they are big fans of the franchise. And you can kind of tell that by the fact that they added in all those weapon quirks, right? Remember, like, the ACOG quirk on the M40A3, or the fact that you basically can't knife if you have a silenced G3? Those quirks were lovingly recreated here into Modern Warfare Remastered. The fact that they added Slasher, I was blown away when they announced Slasher. And I've talked about it before, but for those that don't know, very quickly, Slasher is based off of Michael Myers. Michael Myers was a fan-made game mode back in Call of Duty 4. It was this mode that had a cult following where you would send a message to all of your friends and recent players saying, hosting Michael Myers, join my session. They would join your private match, and then you would set it up. You'd have Michael Myers be on one team, all of these survivors on the other team, and Michael Myers would run around in old school mode trying to knife and kill off the entire enemy team, while they would just try to hide from him until there was one person remaining, and that one person would essentially have a duel with Michael Myers. Slasher was made off an old fan-made game mode, and it takes a loving studio to actually know about Michael Myers and actually want to recreate it. So I really do feel so Raven Software care about this game, but it's a matter of Activision ruining it with their terrible release idea of handcuffing it to Infinite Warfare, adding in supply drop weapons, selling the game for $40 when it became available for individual purchase 6 months down the line, selling the Variety Map Pack for $15. All of these terrible ideas come down from Activision. This game was one giant failed experiment by Activision, and I can see why they did it, right? They picked COD 4 because it's an iconic game that deserves to be remastered, but at the same time, it's not the most popular game in the entire franchise. Other games like Modern Warfare 2 or Black Ops 2 or Modern Warfare 3, maybe even the original Black Ops, these games would do much better in terms of sales as a remaster. So I think, honestly, they picked COD 4 as an experiment. They just wanted to mess around with it, see what they could get away with, and see how things would go, and use that information going forward when they decide to remaster a more popular Call of Duty game. And I hate the fact that I don't want to call it my childhood, but my teenage years, right? I started playing COD when I was 16. I loved COD 4. I played it all the time. I have so many great memories, and to that extent, Modern Warfare Remastered was a giant success for me. I was able to make videos on it pretty much the entire year here, had a lot of success that way, had a lot of fun making videos and sharing tips and tricks, but at the same time, at the end of the day, if I just wanted to hop on and relax and play on some of those iconic maps using some iconic weapons, it sounds so cliche, but when I play this game, there are memories for me around every corner, and some of them were made here in Modern Warfare Remastered, but the vast majority of them were made back in Call of Duty 4, spending countless hours, staying up all hours of the night, playing with my friends, and I don't even know what happened to those guys. A lot of those guys don't even play video games anymore. I fell out of contact with pretty much all of them, but I still have the memories, right? And when I play this game, I get to relive those memories, and so to that extent, to that end, Modern Warfare Remastered was a big success for me personally. I love this game. But I think if we look at it objectively, Modern Warfare Remastered was just one big experiment by Activision. And maybe they can use this information going forward and make Modern Warfare 2 Remastered a much better game, or Black Ops 2 Remastered, or whatever they're going to do next. But I just hate to see the game end off like this. And I get the Halloween event is not the biggest thing in the world. We're talking about a freaking reskinned map and some new supply drop content, right? But it's the principle of it, right? It would have revitalized the community going into Call of Duty World War II. We would have been able to see a new Halloween map, particularly Halloween Overgrown, something that people have been wanting to see for a very long time now. It would have been a great way to send off Modern Warfare Remastered, but instead, it's crickets once again, full circle here over there at Raven Software. We haven't heard anything from Amos Hodge in quite some time. We had to learn that there's going to be no event from the Activision support Twitter, for crying out loud. they're just going to let this game die. They're just going to let it fade off into the sunset. It's entirely possible that maybe 6 months down the line, 8 months down the line, 1 year down the line, they update again with some more supply drop weapons, but they're supply drop weapons, right? That's not what we're exactly looking for in terms of new content and updates and stuff. So I don't know, man. Just a terrible way to end off Modern Warfare Remastered. But of course, I'd love to hear what you guys think down there in the comment section below. I could go on for hours and hours and hours ranting about this, but I wanted to keep it nice, short and sweet here in this video, or short as it is right now. But just let me know your thoughts down there in the comment section below. I'm still excited for Call of Duty World War II, but I'm just a little bit saddened to see MWR end the way it is. But then again, like I said at the very beginning, it's almost a fitting way considering how rocky the entire Modern Warfare Remastered lifecycle has been so far. But once again, guys, hope you guys all enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts down there in the comment section below, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.